Welcome to the Vector Garden. In this video, we're going to take a look at how to create this kind of letters from scratch. This is applied to the layer as a style. So first of all, we're going to start with a new layer in this file. And of course, a new file will do as well. So we make a new layer here. And I'm going to leave it because I'm going to need it later anyway. Then the next thing we need is a grid. In order to create that, I'm going to use the rectangular grid tool that you find under the line segment tool. Double click it and then you can set up how many dividers you want. So I'm going to set this to 20 and 20. And then when making the grid, just drag it with the shift key down like this. Usually that grid will have a stroke applied like this. And in order to have it easier later on, just go in here and get rid of that stroke. And then we need the Live Paint tool, which is here below the Shape Builder tool. We're going to use the Live Paint bucket. And using the Live Paint bucket, you can now paint your letter into this grid. So first of all, select a color with the arrow keys. So I'm going to use arrow to the right, and then we have black. And then you can paint the letter that you want to draw. And let's just click once to create that, and yet then you can just click and drag just like this. And I'm going to draw an M. So let's just paint this M. And of course, you can correct that if you don't like it. But if you do so, make sure that you use the none and not white. So now I'm going to paint these here in none and then go back to black and just make it like so. And you can do so until you like it, and I'm going to leave it as that. This is now a Live Paint group, and we cannot do it with a Live Paint group, unfortunately. We have to expand that. Just hit the expand button up here, or go to Object, Live Paint, Expand. And now it's grouped. We're just going to Object, Ungroup All, so that you can just select one of them. Do not unite them. Just select them all and then go to Effect, Convert to Shape, Ellipse. And now it needs to look like this, but they need to be smaller. So we set them to relative and then just set them to 0 as a beginning, but then they overlap. We could work with these overlaps, but we won't. So I'm going to make them smaller so that they perhaps just fit these little boxes or are even smaller. So just the way you like it. Let's see if this works. So yeah, we're going to go with this. And now we're going to connect them. You might have already recognized it. We're going to use the metaballs effect and it will be applied to the layer. They are still single objects. So let's first target the layer and then open the appearance panel. And then we're going to apply that metaballs effect. So we're going to Effect, Path and Offset Path. And just make that slightly smaller. So I want them to overlap, but not too much. So like this is okay. They are overlapping here, which is good. And now we need to reduce that. So let's go to Effect, Path, Offset Path, apply a new effect, and then go to -1 and set this to round. And you see they do not get this connection. Now, why is that? This is happening because they are single objects and we are applying that to the layer currently. So we have to tell them to join. And in order to do that, I'm going to insert Pathfinder Add. You might have seen that in one of my other tutorials that I'm using the Pathfinder Add in between the two offset paths, like so. And you see now they get joined. And I'm using that Pathfinder Add. Sometimes it's necessary, sometimes it's not. In this case, it's absolutely necessary. So we actually get this result. So like this, and you see here we get the result. And if you want to have this thicker, then in the beginning we would need a larger offset. So, and now you can use that to draw your alphabet, for instance. In outline view, these are still the squares. If you need this as the actual metaballs path, then it's best to target the layer and then go to Object, Expand Appearance. And then in outline view, this looks like you would expect it to.